When I tell people my name is Sabina, they often tell me that my name is unique or pretty. When my parents were naming my sister, my mom looked through a baby book of names and chose a couple that she liked and then gave the book to my dad, who decided that the first name he saw that he liked was going to be the name. My sister ended up with an A name, so that tells you that he didn't get very far. So when I came along, my dad thought it would be cute if he gave me a Z name to kind of contrast that of my sister. He wanted to name me Zelenka, and my mom said no. She wanted to either name me Sabina or Britta, which I'm not sure if they were on the first list, but they were on the list for me. She swears by the fact that when I was born, she looked into my eyes and said, "Who are you?" And I responded with Sabina. I'm not really sure about that one, but if she says that's how it worked, then that's fine. For the first probably 80% of my life, I absolutely hated my name. I hated that people told me it was cool and I had to explain where it was from. And I hated that it was unique and I had to spell it for people, and I hated that people assumed my name was Sabrina just because they'd never heard my name before. In my mind, Sabina didn't fit me. It was too unusual of a name and I didn't feel unusual, and I desperately wanted to change it. I even had a phase where I tried to get people to call me Samantha, and it didn't catch on because it didn't fit me, but for whatever reason that was kind of like the alter ego that I thought was me in real life. I've since come to terms with my name. I still don't fully identify with it, and sometimes when it's written on paper I almost feel like I don't recognize myself and I don't feel like that's me written on the paper, but I don't hate it anymore, and that's the important thing. One of my favorite things about my name is that I can usually get away with just writing my first name on papers when I turn them in, because really there aren't any other Sabinas that I know. When people asked if I'm named after someone though, like in the tag yesterday, that's a whole nother story. My uncle once dated a girl named Sabina, and I am not named after her by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that might be the first place where my parents heard the name. My middle name does come from family though. My sister's middle name comes from my mom's mom. Her middle name was Elizabeth, and so she gave the same middle name to my sister. My dad's mom is named Helen Kay, that's her first and her middle name, but she switches them. She goes by Kay Helen. When my parents had to decide a middle name for me, they decided to take Kay and Helen and smush them together, and now my middle name is Kellen. I've never really identified with that name either. In fact, I usually don't tell people my middle name, so I kind of feel weird telling you the story, but that's the story about how I am sort of named after someone. I want to know how you got your name, so you can tell me in the comments below, and I will see you tomorrow.